2 years and the 3 months that we have been waiting for this day.
Finally, some closure.
We've seen justice, but it's more like a deep burning in your heart.
Her daughter was murdered near Coors Field just over 2 years ago.
Today, Isabella Thallis' killer was found guilty of her murder.
Why don't I feel different?
Colorado is #1 in a category we should not be proud of.
We anticipate this year that you will have approximately 15,000 vehicles stolen in the Denver metropolitan area and 44,000 in the state of Colorado.
And Colorado's surplus is your gain. Back on June 10th, 2020, 21-year-old Isabella Thallis was walking her dog with her boyfriend near Coors Field. A man decided to come out on his balcony with an AK-47 and killed Isabella, injuring her boyfriend. Today, a jury found that man responsible of first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder.
All right, we're going to begin this evening with Denver 7's Amy Wattis, and you spoke with Isabella's mother just after the verdict was read. You were in the courtroom with her today.
Yeah, I had the chance to speak with her right afterwards at her home, and we talked to her there just about the verdict that was read. And Anna Thallis sat through the entire jury trial this week, hearing every witness, seeing every piece of evidence, reliving her daughter's murder all over again. While she feels like a weight has been taken off her shoulders now that the verdict came down, she says the pain never goes away. The verdict came down after jurors deliberated for less than a day. 38-year-old Michael Close was found guilty of 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of first-degree murder, extreme indifference, 2 counts of attempt to commit first-degree murder, and 2 counts of first-degree assault. Close was accused of using an AK-47 he took from a Denver police officer who was a longtime friend of his, while 21-year-old Isabella Thallis and her boyfriend Darian Simon walked their dog outside an apartment complex in the Ballpark neighborhood in June of 2020. A probable cause statement for his arrest said Close yelled at Thallis and her boyfriend about their dog defecating on the ground near the apartments before he fired upon them. I sat down with Thallis' mom, Anna, who shared her feelings following the verdict.
I know most people would say they're rejoicing or they're happy or we've seen justice, but it's more like a deep burning in your heart. A soul-quenching fire that's never fulfilled, even though justice with Michael Close was served to the fullest extent of the law. My daughter's still dead, and that will never change.
Just heartbreaking. Now, I will have more sound from Isabella's mother tonight at 10. Sentencing for Close has been set to November 4th at the Denver courthouse.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
Justice, but not closure.
No, never
All
closure
right.
for her.
Amy, thanks.
Thank you, Amy. And tonight, we are still waiting to receive the updated autopsy report in the death of Elijah McLean. Once Denver 7 learned the original autopsy report was amended due to the grand jury investigation, we joined Colorado Public Radio and other Denver news outlets in suing to get the amended autopsy released. Now, today, a judge ruled that new autopsy be released unredacted. The original autopsy report from 2019 found McLean's cause and manner of death to be undetermined. Any new information in the amended autopsy could impact the ongoing criminal cases against the 2 paramedics and 3 officers involved in McLean's death. We could get that amended autopsy anytime between now and tomorrow at noon. Once that happens, we will bring those details to you on air and on Denver7.com. A man is now suing the Boulder County Sheriff's Office after a stun gun was used while he was in restraints at the Boulder County Jail.
In 2020, Travis Cole was brought to the jail for domestic violence investigation. And newly released body camera video shows once he was fully restrained by officers, former Sergeant Christopher Mecca tased Cole in the leg for 5 seconds. The lawsuit targets Mecca, but it also blames other deputies for just standing by while this happened. Well, after the incident, an investigation was launched by the sheriff's office, and within a few weeks, Mecca was fired and later found guilty of third-degree assault and sentenced to probation. Mecca decided to appeal that decision earlier this year, and that sentence now is on hold. The Boulder County Sheriff's Office issued a statement to Denver 7 today saying they have a policy against using a taser on an inmate who is restrained. They also added that the sheriff disagrees with the allegations in the lawsuit alleging culpability on the part of our agency. They say Mecca acted alone.
Former San Luis Valley District Attorney Alonzo Payne can no longer practice law in Colorado. Today he agreed to be disbarred, which will be effective next month. The decision follows multiple Denver 7 investigations into the former DA's questionable plea deals and violations of victims' rights. New DA Ann E. Kelly took over the job from Payne earlier this month. During her announcement as the governor's pick, DA Kelly vowed to get San Luis Valley District Courts back on track.
Right now, police are investigating 2 hit-and-run crashes that happened within 24 hours of each other. The most recent, just 2 hours ago, in Denver off South Federal and Jewel. A motorcyclist hit a pedestrian and then just rode off, and it is still unclear the severity of that pedestrian's injuries.
And in Aurora, police say a woman was hit and later died after walking in a crosswalk near East 12th and Chambers Road around 8 last night. Officers say the pickup truck driver that hit her took off. Aurora is on track to have one of its most deadly years for hit and runs. And going deeper tonight, Aurora police say so far there have been 13 fatal pedestrian crashes this year, 3 of which were a hit and run. 2021 had 8 deadly pedestrian crashes for the entire year in Aurora. There were also 8 in 2020.
So I wanted to take this a step further, and I went in depth today searching our Denver 7 emails for all the hit and runs that have occurred within the past month in Colorado. From August 22nd to today, Denver 7 has received reports of 12 hit and runs. So you can see they happened across Colorado to cyclists, to motorcyclists, to pedestrians, and nearly half of those were fatal. And listen to this, in 11 of the 12 cases, I found the driver involved hasn't been found. The only case in that time period that did result in an arrest, that was September 18th, the hit and run of a Weld County Sheriff's deputy in Fort Collins. 24-year-old Alexis Hine-Nunts was killed while riding her motorcycle to work, and the man who hit her allegedly was arrested a few days later. He is in jail on a $500,000 bond.
Well, Colorado is #1, but in this case, that's not where we want to be.
Our state just ranked first in the nation for car thefts per capita. This is according to the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kowaleski dug into the data and spoke to the president of the National Insurance Crime Bureau today, as car and catalytic converter thefts show no signs of slowing down in Colorado.
Having your car and property stolen feels like a violation.
I almost had a panic attack.
It's a feeling of rage. It's a feeling of rage.
And many Coloradans know that feeling all too well. Denver 7 Investigates has spent months reporting on Colorado's car theft problem. Our state ranks #1 in the nation in car thefts per capita.
Unfortunately, your trend line is still up and you're still top of the stack.
David Glawi, president and CEO of the National Insurance Crime Bureau, says our state is holding on to the top spot. Since 2019, he says thefts in the Denver metro are up 155%.
So you're still the most increase in the United States.
We analyzed the data and found thefts in the Denver metro more than doubled between 2019 and 2021. And based on the first 6 months of this year, we're on pace to surpass last year's totals by a significant margin. Glawi says used car prices are partially to blame.
A used car right now to purchase it is up almost 35 to 40% greater than it was in 2019.
And that's not all. Catalytic converter theft is also skyrocketing in Colorado and around the nation. We went deeper and checked in with Denver police. The department has already had 2,000 catalytic converter thefts reported this year. That's an almost 2,000% increase over 2019. I'm Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kowaleski.
Thank you, Jennifer. And going deeper tonight, there are ways to try and avoid becoming a victim of car or catalytic converter theft. The National Insurance Crime Bureau says the top priority is to make sure you have comprehensive insurance coverage. Also, park your car in a garage if possible, and if not, make sure the area is well lit. And this might seem obvious, but don't leave your keys or key fob in your car. This is especially important as we enter the colder months when some of us might be tempted to warm up our cars. Well, if you loved getting your $750 taper check in the mail this year, you'll probably be thrilled to know a slightly smaller refund could be coming in 2023.
So Colorado's tax collections through June reach historic levels, so the state must issue another rebate under the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. It's estimated Coloradans could get anywhere from $160 to $500. The amount will be based on income and likely be issued as refunds as people file their 2022 taxes next year.
They'll feel a little more confident when they vote.
Expanding access and making sure all Coloradans have their voices heard this November.
They can vote and cast an informed vote.
A new law is bringing more multilingual ballot services to more Coloradans.
The reality is that that is the way that Colorado is going. It's becoming very diverse.
Still a chill out there today with the gray skies and the showers. The weekend forecast better and brighter.
Plus, the Avs taking a break from hoisting the Stanley Cup. They're back on the ice for training camp.
Guys were sharp for first. I thought it was the best first day of my career. Sure.
The feeling you had winning it, you want to get back and do that again.